Hello to everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Giants Talk Coaches Corner. Today, I'm joined as always by COS head football coach Travis Burkett. Coach, how you doing?
Doing good, Spence. How we doing, man?
I'm doing great, Coach. All right, so the game against Reedley was pretty similar to the game against Fresno City, at least through the first three quarters. This offense does a really good job of keeping games close, but it's kind of struggled to finish games out. I would assume that some of it's fixed by experience, but experience is not really a luxury anyone has at this level.
Right.
What sort of things do you do to reinforce your players to correct that?
Detailed execution. What does that mean? So how you do anything is how you do everything. And I would just say that, we don't want plays to come down to fourth downs or 2-point plays, but when you're playing good teams, bowl teams, teams with winning records, teams with winning programs, teams that in the storied history of our state have won state and national championships, it might come down to those plays. And I think those plays only highlight the necessary detailed execution that you have to have on any play to add up towards success in a game. And I think, you have to foster experience. We have to foster experience, meaning this. We just have to do a better job coaching. And when I say we, I really mean me, of literally and figuratively towing the line. And in subsequent years, I think one thing that can be spoken to for our group, but it's really the same for any team we go against, is, the lack of a winter program or an off-season program, a true winter program where guys are learning how to form, run, touch the line, toe the line, all that stuff. That will no doubt help our returning players in those situations. That's where that shows up. So meaning how I run through the line in February when I don't want to is how I toe the line in November when it counts in a game. And that's what we believe in football. That being said, there are no excuses. And, I just think that at the end of the day, with you saw specifically about our offense, I need to do a better job coaching, quite honestly. We need to do a much better job. And I need to do a much better job of situational play calling, personnel management, controlling situations, all those kind of stuff that'll allow the players to be successful and create value for themselves. So we ask the guys to be accountable for the things that they need to be accountable for. And I would just tell you the number one person that needs to be accountable is me, for making sure that, to your point in your original question, finishing, right? How can we make it so that the finishing piece maybe isn't so critical? Because obviously Fresno City and Reedley, you make the argument it comes down to one play.
Yeah. So I know in hindsight, it might seem like something goes obvious to us now. But at the time, with 5 minutes left in the game, you used 2 timeouts in pretty quick succession. What was your mindset at that time? Can you give a little insight on that decision?
Yeah, we were jammed up, you know what I mean? And that goes back to the coaching piece. That's on me and shouldn't have done it. I mean, probably should have even taken a delay instead of using those timeouts, because obviously those timeouts could have helped us in the subsequent 4-minute situation that we were in on defense against Reedley. So again, coaching error on my part. Got to do a much better job with the sideline. We had some uncharacteristic personnel substitution errors on Saturday on one of those timeouts in particular. And then on the other timeout, we didn't necessarily like the look, which is too bad, and that's on us. We wanted to run a play down there, shoot in the low red that we felt like was, and it turned into a minus yardage play. So we've got to your point, we've been in the low red, which we define as the 10-yard line or the 4-yard line in critical games against really good programs and teams this year, and have had some minus yardage plays show up. So when we study this season, which there's still a lot of season left to play, when we get into January, February, and we start studying cut-ups and stuff like that, we need to identify not only plays, but just how we execute the plays we already have to get out of that.
So when I was looking over the numbers your team put up this year, I noticed something that's kind of small, but it's still important to me. I think on the road this year, including the non-conference games, you guys are 3-1, and at home you guys have been 1-3. Can you give a little bit of insight why you guys seemingly play better away from home?
I think the record certainly indicates that. We're 4-4, 2-2. We including the forfeit win that we collected for the road victory at West Hill. So that's one of them you're referring to, which obviously we feel like as a program and a team that we were going to go over there and get a victory the real way, but it is what it is. We're 0-2 in the spring season, one on the road to ABC, and then a fourth quarter last minute, last play loss at home to ABC at home in that game. I think really what it comes down to is that sometimes on the road, like it or not, there's less distractions. We'd like to make COS, our new stadium, to be a really hard place to play, which I think it already is. I don't think our guys have been distracted per se, or play uncharacteristically because maybe family and friends are around. I just happen to think that we played some good teams, and they've been close games. And like I said in the first question, I got to coach better so we win those games. We got to take a hard look, winter, spring, summer, fall, every phase of our program, how we can continue to train that, and I can continue to train better so that the team performs in those critical moments. I think at the end of the day, in the final analysis, Spence, when we have this conversation after the bowl victory and we look back on what we're planning on being a 7-6 calendar year at COS football with a bowl win, one game at a time here, starting with Modesto. When we look back on it, Spence, I think we're going to find, in the losses that we've unfortunately incurred, I think the collective win percentage of the teams in this season is going to be like 850. Okay. And I think the historical win percentage and trajectory of all the programs that we've unfortunately lost to would marry up with that this year as well. So there are no moral victories. We want to compete against the best and beat the best. That's the vision of the program. So I'm really happy. I guess what I'm saying to you is I'm glad that happened, because we wouldn't want it any other way, Yeah.
All right, so the last thing I want to talk about, Modesto seems to have a really potent offense with an extremely effective running quarterback who also leads their team in rushing yards. And your defense has been pretty good all year, but not as much last Saturday. What do you think the biggest key will be in making sure that your defense will return to form against Modesto?
As a ball club,
Yeah.
We need to, and we always measure this, all of the things that we measure every week that we know go up into playing winning football, to playing COS football. There's a lot of things. The one this week, to your point, in all three phases, is we need to dominate the explosive play differential. That's what we need to do. So, they might have 600 yards, but if they do it on 90 plays, that's okay. Yep. We might have, you know what I mean? So the explosive play different, we might have 400 yards, but if we do it on 50 plays, that's good. So that's the explosive play differential in this game in all three phases is absolutely critical.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I had for you, Coach. I wish you luck this coming Saturday, and wish you luck in the future as well.
Spence, appreciate you, man. All the best. See you soon.
Yep. See ya.